Hey there, folks. Welcome back to our brain and body based series for nervous system regulation and grounding. Now, if you've been following this series, you've been doing lots of bottom up body based practices, which is a wonderful and marvelous. But today we're turning the corner and we're going to start focusing on top down practices, which means we're going to be using more brain based strategies. And our first strategy today, practice today, is called train spotting. This is an open awareness meditation. Now, the idea is to really understand that when we become very attached to our thoughts, it leads to cognitive fusion. So, this means that you become identified or fused with the thought. So, it's difficult to really examine or manage the distressing thoughts because you start to experience them as like yourself, your identity, as true. Okay, and that's what can lead to rumination and anxiety and dysregulation and suffering. So, we want to manage our thoughts through this practice of cognitive diffusion. Sorry about that. In which thoughts are watched and observed rather than taken in as, and experienced fully. Okay. So you might observe a thought. You might say something to yourself like, "Oh, there's that thought again about my, not doing well on this exam. Oh, there's that thought again about worrying about the date I'm about to go on tonight," right? So during cognitive diffusion, you're really trying to simply watch and identify the thoughts rather than jumping onto the train. And so that's why we're going to use this visualization and this idea of the train because it's a really great way to explore this. Okay, so if you're ready, go ahead and get into a settled, easy position. You can do this sitting, you can do this laying down. Okay to do it with eyes open or eyes closed, whatever feels comfortable. The first thing I want you to do is just bring your attention to your breath. You don't need to change anything. Just start to notice your inhale and your exhale. Start to feel the movement in your body as you breathe, of your chest or your belly or both rising and falling. Now shift your awareness to your mind and notice any thoughts entering, flowing through, or leaving the mind. As you observe these thoughts, begin to visualize them as trains, where each train represents one thought. Imagine that you're standing about 20 feet away from these trains, watching them from a slight distance as an observer. You may notice one thought train passing through your mind, or perhaps several. Some may move quickly, others move slowly. Some may stop, others may seem like they're on a loop. As a curious observer of these trains, you are not the conductor, you are not a passenger, and therefore do not attempt to stop them, speed them up, understand them, evaluate them, critique them, analyze them, or in any way interact. Identify it instead as a single sentence. There is that thought train about. This thought train is called. Your job is to watch these trains and allow them to enter and move through and then exit at their own pace. If you notice that you jump onto one of the trains, so you start to follow that train and that thread of thought and the next thought that it leads to, and the next and the next and the next, just congratulate yourself for being aware and noticing that you hopped on the train and then hop right back off. Come back to your stance as an observer. Beautiful. If your eyes are closed, go ahead and gently open them. Take a nice breath. Now, you can, of course, come back to this meditation and repeat it, spend more time there. But it's just a great way to really get some distance and perspective when you're feeling stuck in a thought loop or really overwhelmed by a thought. Step off the train. Notice it for what it is. Name it, label it from a dispassionate, neutral stance. And that will help you break out of that cognitive fusion such that you're then able to get the perspective that you need to then maybe make a choice about what needs to happen next. Okay? So good work. And as always, if there's anything I can do to be a support to you in your journey, just reach out. I'm here. And until next time, you take good care of you.